girl can cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today guys, we are making the most comforting, most delicious pot of vegetable soup. And y'all, it's good, okay? So look, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, grab your ingredients, and let's get started. All right guys, so first and foremost, let me say this: new year, new pot. All right, look, anyway, we're over medium heat, y'all, and we are going to start browning our meat. I'm using a pound of ground beef. Traditionally, you know, you can use chicken or whatever meat you want to use. Some people use ground beef, some people use stew meat, but I'm using ground beef today. All right, and we're gonna cook it. We're gonna season it up with a teaspoon of black pepper and 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt. You guys, we keep the seasonings basic here. If you want to use some other type of salt-based seasoning, you can. That's up to you. All right, but we're gonna brown this ground beef for about 3 to 5 minutes. There should be no pink meat at all. This is not a medium well soup, okay? So go ahead and cook all of that. And since I did use the highest fat, you're gonna strain that ground beef and we're gonna set it aside. All right, look at how pretty that pot is, honey. Stop playing. All right, so look, set it aside, strain your meat, and return your pot back to the heat, and just throw in about a tablespoon of olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil or avocado oil if you choose. And I'm going to cook down a large diced onion. This is a yellow onion to be specific, and we're just going to cook that down just a little bit. And to that, we're going to add in some carrots, just 1 small chopped carrot, and another piece of celery, just 2 stalks. Okay, now listen, we spoke about this before. This is what we call a mirepoix. Okay, it's the base for all soups and stews. All right, it's French technique, so go ahead and add that in. I'm not going to cook it down too much because obviously this soup has to cook for a long period of time, and I don't want mushy vegetables. All right, so look, we're going to deglaze the bottom of our pan with just a little bit of beef broth, and then we're going to add in the rest. This is a 32-ounce container. All right, I added in the whole container. I also added in an additional cup of water just for good measure. You don't have to. If you got some chicken stock laying around, just a little bit, you can add that in. I'm adding in 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with the juice, and I'm also adding in a 15 ounce can of tomato sauce. Y'all, this is a tomato based soup, okay? So we have to have those in there. Now if you don't like tomatoes, you don't have to put in the diced tomatoes, but you definitely need the tomato sauce. All right, or it's gonna change the whole dynamic of this soup. After you get those in and give it a quick mix, we're gonna add in 1 large chopped russet potato. I did peel that potato, make sure you do too. And I have a Pig Sweet bag of mixed vegetables. This bag is a frozen bag. I let it thaw out for a little bit in the fridge. Just, you know, by mistake, it wasn't on purpose. But I added that in. It's 28 ounces, has all the good veggies. It does have carrots in it, so if you don't want to chop up any extra carrots, you don't have to. But add your veggies in. We're gonna throw those in. And for some additional flavor, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of beef base. That would look like about a teaspoon, but I did add extra up to about a tablespoon for some good flavor, honey, because this is beef and vegetable soup. And we're going to start adding in our seasonings. We got in some thyme, a little bit of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of that, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. If you want to use fresh garlic, you can. I chose not to because I didn't feel like chopping it up. I'm sorry. I love y'all. A 1/2 teaspoon of additional black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, you know, for a little razzle dazzle. And I'm adding in some Italian seasoning as well. That's optional, only added in a teaspoon. And we're gonna add in a tablespoon of seasoned salt. If you need to add in more, you can. It's up to your taste buds. And I'm adding in 1 to 2 bay leaves. And once you get all of your seasonings in the way that you would like them to be, you're gonna mix that to combine it, make sure everything is well incorporated. All right, now don't click off, y'all. Don't click off. We do need 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. You can use white sugar. If you don't want to add the sugar, you don't have to, but I feel like the sugar adds balance. Okay, we don't just want salty soup or just savory soup. I wanted to have some balance, you know, some umami. So I added in some sugar. All right, I like a little sweetness to it. If you don't, that's fine. Go ahead and put your cooked ground beef in there. And you see how loose this soup is, y'all? We gotta simmer it and let it thicken. You don't have to add anything extra to it. Just let it thicken for a minute. Put the lid on and let it go for 20 to 30 minutes. If you want to check it occasionally, you can, so that nothing is sticking or burning at the bottom. But look, y'all, after 30 minutes, exactly, this is where we're at, right here. As you can see, it is a soup, so it should be liquidy, but we don't want it too loose, y'all. Everything has to get married and, you know, well acquainted in this pot. So you got to give it time to cook, and you got to get those potatoes time to cook. But y'all, look at that. Once you let that thing simmer down, that is it. You can tell by the rim that it's reduced some, and that's how you know it's going to thicken as well. But look at that delicious soup, y'all. I'm telling you, just a pot full of love. That's exactly what this is. And if you like lima beans, you can throw those in there too, because I did forget about those. But back in the day, we used to have some lima beans in this bad boy, eat it with some cornbread, child. But anyway, we're moving on. Let's go ahead and plate it up. And there you have it, guys. Our delicious, old school, nostalgic vegetable soup, y'all. This bowl of soup right here, y'all, I'm telling you, it brings back so many wonderful memories. You know, my aunt would make this soup, my grandmother would make this soup, my father would. And in the South, it's a delicacy. We always liked this soup. We never knew what the name was, and even though it was vegetable soup, we still threw some meat in there. Okay? But y'all, it's delicious, it's amazing, and it's comforting, and it's perfect for this time of year. And if you want to try it out, y'all definitely got to check out this recipe, and let me know down in the comments if you do. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and if you try this recipe out, let me know, and I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Bye.